a single volume, L to N of the Encyclopedia Corverica.
L to N. It's only 3 letters.
Is it a copy that predates the last war, though, so half of it's just meaningless at this point since the dissolution of Galfar?
It's like what you would get.
It doesn't
Like
have
a
mourning in it.
1990 encyclopedia.
The mourning is not included in this encyclopedia.
It's like. Hi, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a D&D 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron campaign setting. I'm Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin.
I'm R.A.
And I'm Casey.
And welcome to another episode. Casey, what happened last time?
We finally got to do our boggle stakeout. And after not noticing the boggle when it did actually appear, we decided to follow it. Couple of mishaps, ended up at a barn, entered the barn, found the boggle, yay us, and also the terrible tentacled toothed monster that it was serving, worshipping, sacrificing to. We did defeat it with many bumps and bruises along the way. And then at the end, Shade noticed, well, after Ari noticed, that Shade's mark had grown throughout the experience.
So I have a question for Casey about the growth of Shade's mark. Shade's mark has been on her shoulder. In which direction does it expand? Is it expanding like down her arm like a tattoo sleeve, or up towards her neck, or like up across her shoulder blade? Where is it expanding?
Well, why would I do this to myself? But it's what I envisioned when you said that it grew. I envisioned it as expanding in all directions, and so so
Like
all of those
wrapping
things
all around. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Love it.
Cool. So Shade's mark is vibrantly growing. I apologize. I forget. What color is Shade's mark?
You don't know what color. You asked me on one of the episodes,
right.
And then I was supposed to decide, but we never came back to it. But I did actually make a decision. Yay me.
So what color is Shade's mark?
It's a dark green.
Okay.
Nice.
And so when it
there's
lights up, it's a brighter green.
All right. So there's this sort of bold green emerald color glowing from Shade's shoulder as the tendrils and snaking lines of her mark have spread out all around her shoulder, just tracing up towards her neck, down her arm, and past the tears in her shoulder. And you can also see that you really have been burned. Like the skin around is inflamed, like an actual burn would.
Player question. Are we, I guess player and character question, are we aware of marks growing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dragon marks can grow. You probably don't know much about it in terms of aberrant marks, but you've definitely observed aberrant marks of different sizes, and that the larger the mark tends to indicate greater power.
Ooh.
I'm okay. Thanks. Thanks for asking, guys.
I don't. Pog's out there.
Appreciate it.
I didn't, but I'm glad. And I'm going to grab the thing by one of its feet and start trying to pull it back into the barn because we've just made a mess out here in the street. And so I'm going to try to pull it back through its Kool-Aid Man explosion.
Okay.
I will head towards Esri and Pog, and sorry. Of course. Do you need some healing? I could cast Cure Wounds. Do you?
No, it's fine. Pog's probably got it worse.
Are there any articles of clothing like a coat in the pile just on the top that I could grab real quick?
Yeah, how is Ari the one that doesn't need clothing replaced this adventure? This has gone weird.
Well, if there's not a coat, then I will, because I'm going to do the old classic
Right,
like shirt to cut.
Not the first time.
There's an old blanket.
Okay, so Ari snatches that up and comes up behind Shade and kind of throws it over her shoulder to cover up the mark. Like, probably ought to take care of that before you step out in the street. Yeah.
Thank you. And I'll grab another tentacle and pull.
Esri
with Pog.
unslings his backpack and pulls one of Ari's shirts out and hands that to Shade.
So hauling this thing is not actually easy. It is a large size creature, which means it's like the size of a horse or a cow, and it's very very dense. And so you are kind of like hauling on, I don't know, a gigantic hog or something. It's in terms of
I'm going to take one of my axes and just slash it into the center to try to crack into the rib cage and pull with that as well.
Oh, so you get your hand in.
You're just making a handle?
Yep. Hand into it.
Ari standing like 40 feet away going.
That's definitely Casey's reaction. Shade is like, it's a good idea. That
just
as
pull
you're
it for
trying
all I'm
to
worth.
get the creature back into the shed, footsteps come up the street, and you hear, "Stay where you are. Who is this? Who are you?"
Pog stands up, holding his axe.
Was there any time to have
What?
like hidden behind something?
Not really. You came out into the street to help.
Can I jump inside the monster to hide?
I thought it smelled bad. It's not quite
on the outside.
At the sound of those voices, Ari projects out to appear as what's the name of the Warforged guard of the city?
Iron Watch.
He would appear as a member of the Iron Watch. He's still in the warehouse. He's not on the street. So
okay. Well, the three of you who are on the street, you see a figure come around, standing in the street, looking at you all. This is a humanoid figure. You can see a breastplate covering the chest, but outside that there is a sort of sleeved, open robe with a hood. In a pale gray color, as this figure is looking expectantly at you, and they have their hand sort of down with the open robe sort of pulled back, and their hand is resting on a sword hilt that is hanging from their belt.
Amen. You're up.
At that, Ari would come out into the street appearing as a member of the Iron Watch and kind of stop and start like, "Hello, can I help you?"
Explain your presence here.
There was some creature that came bursting out of this wall. I was on patrol, and these citizens stepped up and helped. I don't know their business, but they assisted me in what would have been a dire situation as a member of the Iron Watch. Ding.
Make a deception check.
Pog looks at Shade, very confused, but not saying anything.
23.
Nice.
You lie well.
I do.
I don't
One
even
of the
know
few things I
you,
do.
Ari.
She sort of tilts her head and looks very carefully at you all. What is the Iron Watch doing in Embers?
I was honestly, I was just simply on a stroll. I'm not on duty, but I saw something and naturally had to do something, and then these citizens stepped in to help out. I know some people from Thrain back from the war, and so I was simply paying a visit.
She comes over and inspects the carcass. This
Pug
was in
pulls
there?
Pug pulls his hand axe out, not in a threatening way, just to remove it from.
Yes,
We-
being in her way.
we were
I assume at
following
some point.
we were following a creature that stole my stick. And it headed this way. And we were surprised by the larger. It was not this thing.
I see. Well, I suppose you have our gratitude for dealing with this creature. Her eyes are very, very, there's an immense amount of suspicion radiating off of this person. Because, well, frankly, because Ari changed his story.
Absolutely, he did.
I was on patrol. I was visiting friends.
Yes. Aren't we always on patrol though? I mean,
The Iron Watch.
can you really ever be off duty?
Personal enforcers
apologize.
of the Stormlords aren't.
I saw something. I said something. It was help.
I apologize if I missed this, Philip. Do we recognize that this person has some sort of authority? Are they a part of a group that we would understand? Or like, why are they challenging us?
You probably, I mean, you've
'Cause they
probably
speak
heard of all of.
confidently. That's
You've probably,
She's got a
you've probably
clipboard,
heard
doesn't she?
of the various groups in the city, but this is really probably not a part of the city that you guys are in much. So I don't know that you do immediately recognize. You could guess a militia in the area, but this person in particular is not obvious. What is obvious about her is you can see where her hand is pulling aside the robe to reveal this sword hilt that's hanging from her belt. There is next to it on a little silver chain dangling from her belt a flaming arrowhead symbol in silver that would mark her as a follower of the Silver Flame, which is one of the major religious groups in the world. Well, I suppose if that is all taken care of, you can be on your way. I don't recognize any of you as being from the Embers, so if you
Good,
will-
charm person.
They know when you do that. Like,
What's your
Yeah.
DC?
13 wisdom.
Okay. You feel the magic sort of radiate out from you and just run straight into a brick wall.
Great.
And her head sort of tilts, and her hand shifts over to the little symbol, and she says, "That was unwise. So I will ask again.
what was unwise?
Who are you, and what are you doing in the Embers?"
Okay. My boss needed help, and there was
Your
a little
boss?
monster stealing
Your
things.
boss.
Yeah, Carl.
Who is your boss? Carl.
Carl.
And I do not know Carl. Tell me about Carl.
Carl doesn't know you, I don't think, or you'd
That
know
is
who
very
Carl
likely
was.
true.
So he asked us to help find the things that were being stolen from where I work, and we chased the monster and we killed the monster. And you're welcome. What's your name?
Also,
Where
we
is
have
this
some
place
things to
that you
recover
work?
in here.
Tell me where Carl is your boss.
I asked
Ari
your name though.
interjects at this point as the Iron Watchman says, "I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go. I'm not with them. I don't know what's going on, but it's late. I'm going to head back."
No, please. Stay. Perhaps Lady Omarin would like a report.
I could go give her a report myself, thank you.
You would want to know what becomes of all of this, yes?
Not really. I was just going to tell her a monster came out in the street and these people helped me. But if you're going to exact some street justice on him, honestly, I don't want to be here for it.
Make
'Cause
an
then I might have-
deception check.
Oh, no! No! No!
Oh boy.
That's a natural 1.
Oh, you hate to see it.
She has a natural 20
Push.
on her
Okay.
insight check.
Oh.
With her hand still on the symbol hanging from her belt, she sort of flicks her hand, and you stop looking like a Warforged.
Hey.
And she takes the sword hilt off of her belt, and holds it low in her hand.
That's close to getting out of here. Yes.
And says, "Now, I am being very patient.
You are, and I appreciate that.
One more chance. Before we do this, with some magical assistance."
Carl is a bar owner over in Southwatch.
Grindstone.
Grindstone.
Grindstone's part of Southwatch, yeah.
I was trying not to get too specific.
That's fair. Southwatch is fine.
Over in Southwatch.
What's bar?
The bar I work at.
Which is named
Well, how many questions do you get before we get a question?
as many
a
as
lot.
I
She's
want.
got a sword.
I have axes, and I splash the blood off of my blade.
Is that how you would prefer to do this?
I wouldn't.
I just want to know your
If we
name.
each get a vote, I'm going to vote for no.
I don't know what to call you.
Grindstone's a bit outside your jurisdiction, isn't it?
What do you think my jurisdiction is?
We're in her jurisdiction. Why are you being
We asked
antagonistic?
you first.
Oh my god.
I would like the name of this bar where Carl works, so that I can inquire of Carl to verify your story.
I have a
name is-
paycheck.
Why did I just go to focus? Sorry.
Show the canceled checks.
She cast blur on herself.
As for my name, you may call me Lady Taris.
Milady. Listen, okay, just we aren't against providing that information. Just can we give you the full story, and then you'll see how Carl had a boggle problem. Boggles were stealing stuff from his guests. He was having to recoup them the costs. He hired us to figure out what was going on because he didn't know that it was boggles. We tracked a boggle into this district to this warehouse. Yes, we went inside to try and recover the goods that were stolen and figure out what was going on. This big leathery cow teeth thing. Sure, yeah.
Bless you.
Was living in
Thank you.
here. Was living in here and underneath the pile. So it attacked us when we were in there trying to recover the boggle to figure out what was going on. Carl does. I mean, Carl would be able to confirm that he hired us, but he's not going to be able to confirm the rest of that story. So I don't know what good that's going to do you. I know that we were deceptive at first. We're scared. We're not from this part of the city, as you have rightfully guessed, and you came upon us in a time where we are vulnerable and a little worse for the wear. So
While Ari's talking, I'm going to use false life to boost up my hit points.
The way this has gone before, I thought you were going to say, I stab her or something.
I hit her in the head, but non-lethally.
While Ari's talking.
Sneak up behind her and bash her over the head with a trash can. Make a
jump from a ladder
persuasion
nearby.
check.
Ari.
20.
Carl's bar is called what?
Pog, he's your boss. It's your workplace. You make the call. If you want to tell
What?
her.
Do you think we're bad guys?
I don't know. Your friend impersonated impersonated a member of the Iron Watch, and
I did.
your friend here attempted to infect my mind.
Okay,
There's also-
I'm
both
Pog,
facts.
Hello,
and
Pog.
this is Shade.
Nah,
I'm Taurus. Hello,
And-
Shade.
This
Pog, don't
is
say my
Esri,
name.
and this
Hello,
is
Esri.
Ari.
Hari.
And Ari and Esri think good, but they do stupid things sometimes.
That is true.
I'm not lying. I don't know you, but you're acting like I'm a bad guy. I am hurt bad, and I killed this monster here with my friends. You're welcome.
She holds out her left hand to you.
Oh boy. I shake her hand.
You recover 12 hit points.
Thank you. Can we talk like friends? Because they're not gonna lie anymore. I promise.
I would have been happy to begin that way.
So restartsies?
The name of Carl's bar?
The sword and sheath.
Thank
And
you.
I'm working tomorrow. If you want a half and half or a good drink, I can make them for you.
You won't.
She rolls her eyes. Ugh, listen, just because I am Korvar doesn't mean I drink that.
Hey, Corvar?
It's the only fancy thing I know how to make.
It is not fancy.
I don't like it
Nothing
either. It's
about it
really
is
bad.
I never
It's
told
really
you it was
bad.
fancy.
Do you
What?
give fist bumps? Because it's really bad.
Oh my god.
Is that
Like that.
sure? And
Okay.
she touches with her left fist to your hands.
So I was just going to try to move this monster back inside because I didn't want to leave a mess out here. And Shade was helping. If you want us to, we can leave it and just go. But we've just got some stuff in there. I just want to go to bed. Whatever you want. We can just talk like friends is all.
So, and she looks at Shade. Who hired you to do the job?
Carl.
And she looks at Ezra, and Carl's bar is called what?
It's not called what? Pay attention.
Esri. And he hits him in the shoulder. This is my friend now.
Oh! I have no story to tell you.
Interesting. I come upon you because someone sent a lightning bolt into the sky from over in this way. It seemed necessary to check out. This is a relatively quiet neighborhood. We try to keep it that way. If you are going to pursue something into this neighborhood in the future, find a patrol. Let the knights know.
Yes, ma'am.
Does your organization have a name? Just so we know who to ask after.
We are the Knights of Thrain.
Easy to remember. That's good.
Yes. Simply.
So, do you want me to keep putting this back in there?
Yes. Why don't we clear it off the streets? People will start
Slam my
splitting up.
axe back into its chest and start dragging. This is what
I'm gonna walk in
She-
and look through the trash.
She puts the sword hilt back in her belt and begins helping you shift the thing. And among whoever is helping, you are able to slide the thing back. It leaves a mess, but it won't frighten passing children.
Just a giant 6 foot across bloody streak down the middle of the road. Kids are like, oh, Tuesday, you know.
That leads through
She
this
looks-
gigantic hole in a wall.
In the shape of Satan's nightmare. Oh, yeah. That's that old house.
She looks at the pile of things. These are the things that were stolen from Carl's bar.
There's a bit more here than what was stolen from Carl's bar.
And I'm sorry, Carl's bar was called...
The Sword and Sheath.
I have an order pad if you want me to write it down for you.
I would be delighted to have a piece of an order pad from Carl's bar.
Take out the order pad from my back pocket.
She takes it and tucks it into her belt.
People that were affected, a coin purse belonging to an heir of Kundarak was taken, so I don't know if the purse will have any kind of markings on it. Also, some books and a wizard's staff are what we're looking for.
Interesting.
If
So
you can
looking
give me
over,
10 minutes, I can take a look.
why don't we take a look now?
No, if I can have 10 minutes, I can take a particular look.
You are looking for magic.
Well, one of the staffs is a staff is supposed to be magical.
Let's see what we have. I would hate to tax your resources. And sifting through the pile, you come upon several things. You really only come upon one thing that looks particularly like a staff, or like a wizard's staff. It is a long, pale-colored wood with an ivory claw at the top. It's ivory carved like a claw, not obviously. Additionally, there's a lot of just sort of haphazard wealth. It's very hard. I mean, it's obviously unsurprisingly difficult to identify whose purse is whose. But there's about 200 gold in various coinage.
We'll just take all of that just to be thorough.
Who will think on this?
We
There
are getting paid.
is. There are 3 or 4 different books. And then there's a whole lot of like actual junk. Shoes, missing socks, rotting blankets, like actually just random things. Bits of individual pieces of silverware.
Stay back, Shade.
The dust bin that obviously went with a broom.
Yeah.
A couple of doorknobs. The only other potentially valuable item is there is a very, very intricately carved comb made of bone and traced with silver.
Miss Lady.
Taris.
Miss Lady Taurus. These things that we know we have to give to Carl, but can I have 2 other things? Because I would really like to take some teeth from the monster to give to Solarka, and that comb is really pretty.
Over at Black Iron.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know her too?
I have visited the forge. I know her father. I think I know which of his children you are talking about.
She's so cool. Right, Shade?
Oh, she's the
I
best.
have no problem with you taking a trophy from the creature.
Thank you.
Make a...
She's going to be so mad.
But I'll give her some teeth, because at least this way she has something cool from it. Not like last time.
We had every opportunity to go get Solarka to get her to join us on the stakeout.
Don't you dare tell her that. Don't you dare tell her that.
Make a roll of persuasion, Pog.
1 moment. And I will. My tablet was bored with just listening to me. Top content.
While Colin's getting that pulled up, is there anything notable about the books in the pile?
Looking at the books, you can pretty easily identify one of them as a spell book. Only one of them is. There is a copy of To Tempt a Boggle.
Excellent. Esri, here you go.
It's 18 on persuasion.
18.
Nice.
Oh, no. Plus my 2, so it's a 20 persuasion.
I guess like your obvious crush on Solarka is...
He's a sweet kid.
Like, yes. There is a softening of her demeanor, and she nods. You may take the comb as well.
Thank you. I'm going to pick it up and start popping teeth out. Shade, can you hold these?
Of
As
the
I
comb, just
pry the
breaking
teeth.
teeth.
No, from the monster. No.
Well,
Solarka's going to love these.
I want one too,
Yeah. One for all of us, but we have to take one for Solarka.
obviously.
So I pull 5 teeth.
One of the books is
that's a good idea. I want to take out a vial and just take some scrapings from inside the
samples?
creatures. I mean, I was told
Sure.
that the creature's mouth was full of disease, so
Sure. Let's see. Give me either. But do you have proficiency in something like an alchemist kit?
I have an herbalism kit and a poisoner's kit.
Treehouse is going to be ground
Then-
zero of something.
Are you,
God,
give
I'm
me
going to
a
move out. I wonder
me a
if Tom
check.
needs a roommate.
with either
I've also got pretty good animal handling.
either medicine or nature, or survival. Survival would also make sense here. Whichever of those
I've got
you have.
real high medicine.
Okay.
We're going to
17.
have to wear a mask hanging around
Okay.
Ezri from here on out.
So yeah, you feel fairly confident that you've gotten something useful, a useful sample to examine.
All right. Spellbook To Tempt a Boggle.
The a single volume,
Ugh.
L to N of the Encyclopedia Corverica.
L to N. It's only 3 letters.
Is it a copy that predates the last war, though? So half of it's just meaningless at this point, since the dissolution of Galfar.
It's like what you would get.
It doesn't
Like
have
a
mourning in it.
1990 encyclopedia.
The mourning is not included in this encyclopedia.
It's like what you would get if you were buying books by the yard, just to fill up a bookshelf. And a red leather tome
Yellow leather.
called Commentaries on the Prophecies by Onal Kalden.
That looks super boring.
What was the author's name?
Onal, Onhal, Kalden, Caldyn.
We didn't get a good beat on which books were missing. So, I mean, there's 4 books here. None of them seem
It was
particularly-
4 specifically, wasn't it?
I don't remember. Because Ari doesn't, so that wouldn't be a deception check. And I'm trying
make
to
a
be
persuasion
a good
check.
I honestly remember it being 4, but I don't know if that's true.
13, I'm willing to push.
You will probably wish to push.
Okay.
She sort of
Take damage for these books.
I hope these are good
Exerting
books.
my charm so hard. That's a 20 is my new roll. That's the first damage Ari has taken this session.
My lord.
all right.
Must be nice.
Take the books.
Thank you.
We'll come around and check with Carl to see what he sent you after.
If you could mention
No.
the size of the thing that we defeated, I think that would be helpful.
Very well, I can do that. All right. Well, this seems reasonably comprehensible what has happened here, other than the presence of this creature, which I will have to look into in somewhat more detail, I think. In the meantime, it is late enough to be early. I think it is. Let me walk you back to Southwatch.
Fair enough.
Can I say I took 10 teeth total?
Yes, you can.
Did she allow us to take any of the gold in a purse for the Kundarak man?
You didn't inquire about any of the gold.
I mean, I did say I'm just going to take all of this to be safe. And she said, we'll discuss that. So
Yeah.
I did bring it up. And then we never discussed it. So Ari has a satchel of gold.
You could give me a sleight of hand check to try and grab some.
Oh, dude.
I don't want to. I don't want to potentially upset her. Like I'm good. I don't want to find out what happens when she uses that hilt.
Fair enough. All right. So she beckons you out into the street and barring any...
I will say to her, we're party, hold on to the gold. We are supposed to bring some of that back.
Show
Carl
me
can tell you how much.
evidence that it belongs to someone, and we'll see it returned.
Yeah, Carl can confirm that and talk to you about that. But
right.
What happens to this?
Oh, we'll destroy the body. We'll burn it or something like that. We'll destroy the body. It's obviously we wouldn't want. Well, something like that smells bad enough already. We won't want to leave it rotting, and we wouldn't want to risk it, falling into the river or something like that.
what was
so
that
we'll-
storehouse used for? It didn't seem like it was being used for much lately. But
Nothing.
Does it-
It's just an old, unused building.
Do you have a lot of boggles around here?
Not that I am aware of.
Well, if you see one, they said I could keep it as a pet, so let me know. Because the
That is
last
a very
one got away.
bad idea.
Maybe.
As we're walking
Mhm.
back towards Southwatch, Ari would try to engage it with her in some core of our talk about where she's from and unity dinners, and just find some cultural touch points to make her less angry with us.
Never a day off for a player, right? Right.
It's not like that. Just
And Esri, as soon as we're back in our neighborhood, we'll just split away in a different
Okay.
direction from anything.
You learn, Ari, that she is Thranish. That her family left after the monarchy fell.
Shade would have noticed Esri's departure.
Yes, will.
Okay.
Yeah, so she doesn't actually proceed into Southwatch with you. She walks you to the edge of.
how
the
long ago did the
embers.
monarchy fall?
Of
I can
course.
look it up, Philip. It's fine.
Look it up yourself.
Yeah.
Man with the tools.
Yeah, she walks you to the to a landmark that denotes the boundary between wards and bids you good morning and turns and heads
Good
back
to meet
into the
you.
embers.
Okay.
She reaches out and touches her knuckle to yours. Is this something from? It has been a long time since I was in Corvair. Is this what they are doing now?
Oh, it's what I do. It's cool though, right?
Of course. And she turns and heads back down the street.
Good night, Miss Lady.
Taurus.
Good night, Miss Lady Taurus.
Thomas.
Good night, Pog. Shade, Esri, and Ari. So you are alone.
And this is when Esri breaks off.
Well,
Well,
I'm
does
sorry.
he now that the cops aren't there?
I was assuming she was walking back to.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, was walking us back to wherever we were walking to. So I was just gonna split, but
She's
that
just
was
seeing you
cool,
out of the
huh?
neighborhood.
That was
I thought
cool.
that was going to be just our standard way of ending adventures from now on, is everybody just splintering off away from you.
we walk away.
And we walk away.
We
Yeah.
need to have a talk about names and giving them.
Okay.
Oh,
Do you want your full name given next time?
It'll save.
Okay, see, the problem is when you were talking, she got angry and it was going bad. You were bad at talking to her. When I started talking,
I wasn't talking to her.
when you two were talking to her, it was bad. Every time she asked you a question, you went, "Man, I'm Esri. I gotta be mean and I can't have friends." And it didn't help us. She asked me and I was nice and she answered when I asked her questions.
And now
So
she knows
I'm
our
not
names
sorry. She
and where
would have
you work.
anyway.
and who our friends are.
Do you think you could have beaten her?
Yeah.
Ari, you're
I
the
think four
only
of us
friend
could
I
have.
have that thinks good now. You're it. You're the only friend that thinks good now. I'm sorry, Shade, but he's smarter than me. You
We
think better
killed
than me.
a
though.
tentacle monster. I think we could have taken
Barely!
one guard.
Barely.
he was gonna leave
I'm
us.
only
I wasn't
here
going to
because
fight her
Shade
anyway.
kept me alive.
Ari was gonna walk away.
No, I wasn't going to leave you. I was just going to go change back into my normal form and come around the corner so she didn't think I was lying to her. That was my plan of trying to get away. Is I was going to walk around the corner as the Warforge and then run around the building and be like, "Hey guys, sorry I fell behind." That was my plan. It didn't work out, obviously, but that's what I was going to do.
Mm.
I promise you, Shade, I wouldn't leave you in a situation like that unless I had a plan that was to get you out of the situation that you were in.
Seemed like you were going to get you out of the situation we were in.
I was going to come right back.
Is Ari telling the truth?
You're fairly insightful, I would say, unless Ari is, unless you want to roll, Eric.
I mean, what would I roll? Do you want me to roll in secret
Either
so he doesn't
deception or
know
persuasion.
which
Sure.
I'm rolling?
I mean, well, let's say what's
because obviously if I say I'm rolling deception, then you know I'm like
No, yeah. Don't roll it on D&D Beyond.
It's literally the same modifier, so I
Sure.
can just tell you what.
Sure, roll.
That is a 17.
All right, roll insight.
23.
Esri. All right. Esri knows whether you're being deceitful.
I rolled persuasion.
Okay.
Shade, we don't do that.
I don't lie to you guys. I lie to everybody else, but not you. Like,
But
I don't lie to
sometimes,
family.
sometimes lying hasn't worked,
That's true.
and
Most
it
of the
wasn't.
time lying hasn't worked.
It wasn't work. And you lie good. I think. I wouldn't know. But
so
but
I lie as well as I perform. Like,
then I would know. Then I would know.
I would say
I
inconsistent.
liked your older stuff. The lying wasn't working.
oh,
She was too good. And Esri, you can't be mad at me because you tried to magic on her and she caught you. I'm not sorry.
I'm not telling you to be sorry. I'm telling you to not drop my name.
What did she mean when she said you tried to infect her mind?
He tried
You know,
to
it's
magic
we
on
were
her.
out of
I don't think she knew that it would have been an infection. I think that was just a turn of phrase. It would have been.
because it seemed like she was about to let us go. Like things were going well, and there was a distinct moment where she
wasn't
where
gonna
she
let us go.
turned.
Yeah, no, I tried to just make her friendly. And
So my arm's
It didn't work.
burning.
I assume we're walking to the treehouse while we're having this conversation.
No, I'm going back to Carl's. That's where all our
Yeah.
stuff is.
yeah, we have to go back to
yeah.
We've got to put the ledger
Well,
back in the
I'm
book.
not leaving my
I-
blanket any longer.
I closed the door, but I didn't lock it because I didn't think we could get back in.
So why?
Well, I don't know. I couldn't have
like,
locked it from the outside anyway. No.
Why
Sure,
did
you
you
wouldn't
try
need
to charm her?
Why wouldn't I?
Wait, so my distraction
Because
didn't
things
work
were
for you?
going bad
Oh.
at that point.
The price of her being polite was information, obviously. She wasn't going to let us just walk away.
You don't know that. But she sure as hell ain't if you try to infect her mind and fail at it. That's why I just try to lie. I can do that
Yeah.
too, but I don't.
She saw through your lie as well.
No,
That's
you
why I
don't get
did
to
it.
say who's more badder at
After.
something.
After
I'm with Pog on this one. You're arguing about who
After
had
she
the
got
least
angry at you.
successful worst idea.
she was fine with me until she got mad that you
No.
tried to turn. Yes.
No, she wasn't.
Let's go back to the order.
No, she wasn't. You didn't even get your story right. You changed your story.
She bought it. She
No,
wasn't
she
questioning
didn't.
me. Esri.
You don't know
She
when
took-
someone's buying it.
Every. She took
You
down
think
my
everyone
defenses.
buys it?
She took down my illusion with the snap of her fingers. She could have done that at any point. She didn't think to do it until somebody in this group did something to make her suspicious.
And I didn't put my hands on fire.
You did
You
not.
know what you do
Thank you,
when
Pog.
you know someone is lying?
I didn't
You
thunderclap.
let them go on lying.
High five, Shade.
She didn't though.
She did. She did. She
She
waited
took
until
down-
the lies were done. And then she proved she knew.
Okay. Ari, you were bad tonight. It went bad. Esri, it went bad for you too.
Ari,
No,
I'm not saying that,
it
Ari.
went
I
bad.
thought what you did was a great idea. Just didn't, I mean, it didn't work. So I tried something and it didn't work.
And you had a bad idea and it didn't work. Both
It
of
wasn't
you
a bad
had
idea.
bad ideas.
It was a bad execution. That's a different.
There were
it's
bad
not really the
ideas.
same problem.
And I helped get us out of it because
You
I
did.
told the truth and Shade told the truth. And when she asked you a question, you had to get all rude again. You can't just be mean to people and think it's going to work. I'm going back. And I'm going to turn in front of everyone and like pace out ahead. Pog is done with this conversation.
Okay.
Pog is
And you're headed
exiting
to the bar,
stage straight ahead.
exiting into the audience.
Breaking that fourth wall. Pog is making a Deadpool exit.
Dead
and
orchestra.
walks straight through the
Pog
camera.
walks through the camera frame.
After a beat, after what Pog said, Ari would kind of turn to Shade and ask, like, how are you feeling with your shoulder?
Scared?
Maybe we have that
Tired?
conversation at the treehouse. You know,
In pain?
Does it hurts?
Worried?
It's lingering pain. It's not the really intense pain that you were experiencing. And it has
I'm imagining
faded. It is no longer glowing.
I'm imagining that sort of like tenderness of a burn. Like how it's
Yeah.
still sensitive but not like on fire.
That is precisely like what you're feeling. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get you an Eberron-Profen for it.
3 out of
So-
10.
So what do you think happened?
Well, I shot a lightning bolt into the sky. I don't
I saw that part.
I'm so sorry. I'm
Oh.
so sorry. That brought the lady that had so much attention. I didn't mean to do it, but I also guess I don't mean to do it the first time either.
It's fine.
I'm
We're
really tired.
yeah. You don't need to be sorry. We managed somehow, and he glances over at Esri, to get out of that situation.
I'm also really sorry that I whisper yelled at y'all when y'all were talking on the roof. It's just when you go hunting, it's just really, really important that you're quiet, and you weren't being quiet. And so I'm so sorry I snapped at you. I didn't mean to be mean about it.
Shade, I don't go hunting. I don't know this stuff. So, yeah, you don't need to apologize for telling me to be quiet.
I'm sorry.
If more people did that, I would probably get in less trouble, being quite honest, but it's okay.
Noted.
Okay. Is Esri there? Okay.
We were just walking, right? I don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know it.
Couple
as
steps
it
behind.
Shifted, just trying to. Okay, so Shade would apologize to Esri too, like just because I think she yelled at Esri too, or she envisioned she yelled at everybody. I'm also sorry that I yelled at you. I just
making noise.
okay, but sometimes I yelled in y'all's direction. Well, didn't yell because y'all were yelling, but sorry.
It's okay, Shade. No need to be worried about it.
Worried a lot of things.
But that specific thing, you don't need to be worried about. Take that off your plate.
Is there slime on my stick?
I don't know.
It smells really
That's
bad.
me.
Ah, come on.
Esri, do you still have the ledger page?
I gave it to you.
He gave it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, I have the ledger page? Oh my goodness,
I
I
gave
hope
it
it
to you
wasn't
to
in
stick
that
back in the book.
shirt.
You didn't put it back?
I was gonna do it after he left, and then after he left, I fell asleep, and then I was gonna do it on my watch, but then the boggle came. Oh my goodness.
Philip's deciding it.
I'm
now.
gonna
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna sort of Philip. I'm gonna sort of just like coax things out of the stick.
Any particular
once
things?
yeah, the termites and the
okay.
the things that live in it.
I wasn't sure if
Um,
this was mushroom growth or
A fireball.
you know,
I coax a fireball out of my
stuff.
stuff.
like the insects.
and
okay.
then just toss it.
Okay.
Need a new stick.
So are you just crawling with bugs right now?
I mean, they're not like showing, no, but yeah, they're on me. They're like,
I'm
Up
so
a
glad I'm
sleeve.
ahead of you right now. I'm so glad I'm ahead. Not want to see this. Gross.
Shade, patting yourself down really quickly, you find that you have lost the page.
Oh. Esri, I'm sorry. When my arm caught on fire, I think the ledger burned up with the sleeve. You said I should have done it
The
earlier, and
whole-
I guess
you-
I should have.
just the one page, right? You don't like take
Just
the
the one
book.
page. I didn't have the book. No, just the one page.
I just forget that you ever had it. Don't just didn't happen.
It's okay, Shade. It happens.
Except it
Wait, your
didn't in
arm
this
lights in
case.
fire and burns pages.
I meant more
too?
like the general platitude of mistakes, like things happen, you know?
I
no
see.
need to beat yourself up over something you can't control.
I cannot.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so I'm going to try the lock when we get back to the door, assuming we're almost there.
It's still unlocked.
So I'm going to turn and
Portals,
ask for
portals
the page.
everywhere.
I just keep getting shot out of the door straight back up the road. Slingshotted. So I'm going to turn and ask Shade if she put the page back because it was handed
What
off in
page?
front of me. From Carl's book that you stole and burned.
I did not.
Nope. Don't know it. No, there wasn't a page. No page.
The one you
lost
stole while
it
I was
slash
talking to.
burned it up.
It's gone.
Boy, we're not learning lessons tonight.
Carl's
But
gonna
the
be
lesson we
so
learned with
mad at
Pog
me.
was not to lie, and so
It's true.
that's
Okay.
No,
Oh,
Okay.
lesson we
I
learned
learned a
is
different.
when you
I
don't
learned
lie,
a different lesson.
they get information about you.
That's the lesson you're wanting to teach,
Oh.
but I feel like the bigger lesson is we're not like being harangued anymore because Pog told the truth.
Yeah, probably won't come up again.
I mean, Carl's
Last time
probably
we
going to
saw
have
her.
to show the ledger to identify how much money he gets out of the purse that she took. So he's definitely going to notice it's gone.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's a good thought.
Can we talk about this now so that you don't get mad at me when I tell the truth? I'm going to tell Carl that you took the page and we lost it.
I don't
Because
want him to know that.
he's going to know it. And if we don't tell him, he's going to know that I'm lying and I can't work here anymore. And I love you guys, but I want to work here too. And maybe he won't be that mad and I can give him my tips for a little while and give him back what he's missing, but I'm not going to lie to Carl because you shouldn't have stolen it in the first place because Carl told me everything I asked him. I'm going to tell him.
Except all the things he couldn't remember.
He tried.
Yeah.
Which we didn't really solve that problem, did we?
We did not.
That seems Yeah, so we found the stuff, but it wasn't exactly like close by. Why would the thing be coming here specifically, repeatedly? It was putting wizard staffs with socks and blankets and other trash. And why is his memory not working? This doesn't actually tie everything up.
I don't know why Carl remembers stupid things, but I think it came here because it could steal things without people like Miss Lady catching it.
Philip, are there
Yep.
other inns between here and where we tracked it, or any other building where valuables would be?
You probably don't. I mean, surely, yeah. I mean, you guys ran quite a distance, so surely there would be buildings with valuables in them. You probably don't know the inns in Embers well, but yeah, I mean, you guys went a fair distance. It's reasonable to assume that there were probably inns somewhere along the way, or at least buildings with valuable stuff in them.
Okay, I'm gonna go to
I'm
bed.
very tired. I didn't get to sleep because I had first watch, so I would love to go lay down.
I have to work in a few hours, so I'm gonna sleep some too.
I'm just gonna stay here. I mean, we have the room for the night. We got to talk to Carl in the morning anyway. I'm gonna crash here.
For the record, there are enough rooms that each of you could sleep in a bed if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm headed back to the treehouse. I'm out.
Okay.
When
I'm upstairs to the room I jumped on the bed on first.
when Ari gets back to his bag, he does make a cursory glance to see if anything went missing in his bag.
No, everything is still in your bag.
Shade would have actually followed
then-
Esri. Esri, wait up.
Okay.
I can't possibly outrun you. I mean, mechanically it's the same, but
Well, I don't want to run. I'm kind of tired, but I don't want to be there when Carl comes back in the morning.
yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm just still not sure if we were getting paid. So,
Well, I definitely don't think we're gonna get paid when he finds out that we when he finds out I stole the page from the ledger.
I mean, it gave us information we needed, or possibly needed anyway.
I don't know that it helped, but okay.
So y'all can get back and go to sleep, but if there's more conversation that needs to be had, that's totally fine. Just
Pogs in
when
bed.
y'all are ready to cut to, let me know.
I'm not sure investigative work is our strong suit. I
Ari
saved
would
him.
poke.
Shade.
Okay.
Listen.
Don't know what
Sorry,
our
I didn't
strong
wanna
suit
interrupt you.
is. We just really haven't done a good job with any of the jobs as like together. I did steal the ledger very stealthily, and so that was good until I lost it, and Carl's gonna be mad. And we did kill the tentacled monster, but also
Oh no, we seem to be well suited for that. We were.
I mean, you and Paul
I
got
mean, we
pretty
were-
hurt.
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, we we were picked out among the masses to be killers, so clearly that's within our wheelhouse.
Do you think that's why my mark grew?
Oh.
Because I've killed more things now?
I mean, if I remember the order of events correctly, it was before any killing happened. So, no. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, but what I know about what's going on your arm is, well, I've exhausted the subject. I know nothing at all.
I mean, I killed a lot of
the
things.
thing, if we're...
I mean, when I just got good at hunting for a reason, like, that's not... We are good at killing things. That's true.
I mean...
that doesn't make sense,
names. I'm sorry. Our trainers.
Falco?
Soren and Falco.
So, yeah. I mean, Soren and Falco and Storm and Cyclops that got us out of there.
Sora and Dane.
They all have large marks. So, I mean, clearly this is a thing that happens, right? I mean, marks get big. I mean, it might just be natural.
I mean, it did get bigger when it helped us. It did a lot of damage to that terrifying monster. And so, I mean, it's not, yeah, it did help us. Yeah. It was helpful.
Yeah. No, I mean, it certainly was impressive.
You look like you're trying to say something, Eric.
I was just going to let their scene come to an end before I start. I wanted Ari to talk to Pog for a beat before we passed out. So,
okay.
Once Ari gets his bag settled into his room, he goes back to the room that he and Pog shared, and kind of raps on the door frame. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Ari.
So, first off, I appreciate everything that you had to say back there. And you're right that honesty is the best way to go in most situations. So I appreciate you having that insight and calling me on some stuff I pulled. But you know why Esri and I laugh so much. I mean, I don't want to fully speak for Esri, but I mean, if it's any reason why I do, then it's at least similar. Especially in situations like that.
Tonight, when Miss Lady came up to us, I didn't say anything when you came out pretending to be somebody else. And I let you talk, and I let you try. And when Esri lied to her, I let Esri talk, and I let Esri lie. And that's okay. I don't want to talk first. But it didn't work. So I tried the opposite of what you did. And it did work. I don't mind that you lie. I don't think you lie to me. I don't think you lie to Shade.
I don't.
And I don't think Esri lies to me. And I don't think he lies to Shade. But if it doesn't work lying, then I'm going to try to tell the truth, because I didn't think we should fight Miss Lady, and lying and magicking on her and being mean wasn't working.
Yeah.
You can try lying. I trust you. But if it doesn't work, you have to trust me. Because when you guys tried to get Carl to tell you things, it didn't work. But when I tried, it did. But they still stole the paper from him. And now I'm in trouble, because Carl would have told me any question you wanted me to ask him.
I know.
I don't think as good as you, and that's fine. But I didn't do anything stupid.
Oh, no. No.
At all. So, if we have to do not lies, I'll do the not lies.
And you're great at it, buddy. I agree that sincerity is one of your many strong suits. But Esri, sorry, it's going to take me a minute to get through this sentence. Esri wasn't entirely wrong. I know I've been talking about making friends with people in the city and getting people to trust us and like us and want to be around us, because what Shade did tonight, what you can do, what you did with the fire, what Esri and I can do just in general, it's still a target as of right now. And I mean, I don't know what Lady Terrace, is that her name?
Terrace. Mm-hmm.
Terrace thinks about people like us, marked people like us. But if she was somebody who hated marked people and she found out that we were marked people, she now has a couple of pretty good lines to come after us, or at least tell people where to find us. And that puts people like Carl and Solarka in danger when we overtell the truth, when we share too much. And I'm scared, man. You, Shade, Esri, tomorrow you could disappear in the jungle and you'd be fine. I can't. I need to be around people. And I can't live on the road again like I used to. And that's why I lie. And that's why when I go out and make new friends that I don't intend to be friends for a very long time, I don't tell them my name's Ari. I don't tell them that I live in a treehouse. I don't tell them those things because I can't. And when we're being potentially threatened in the street by somebody, maybe a mix of the two approaches of sincerity while still obscuring a bit of the truth to protect us and protect the people we care about might be a good thing. I don't know.
You're probably right.
Ever since the thing with Donabella, I don't sleep much. So yeah.
You're probably right. But if you lie all the way, I don't know how to lie halfway. Because You didn't say anything true when you first started talking to her. I'm not able to good lie like that. And if she comes back and she kills me, then tell everybody I'm sorry. But I don't think we had anything else that I could have done tonight.
Oh,
and
we were backed against a wall. You didn't do anything wrong.
She doesn't know about us, what we can do. Nobody told her about that. She didn't see anything about that. She said she saw a lightning bolt, and you've said before, lightning's not that weird. She didn't know it was Shade's arm that made the lightning. So all she knows is I have an order pad for here, and then my boss is Carl, and those are things that Carl says I should tell everybody so that more people can come in here.
Fair enough.
So my truth tonight, I made a safe truth, and you guys had a dangerous lie. And Ari, I love you, but I can't be calm about this right now because I did good.
You did.
And we're all alive, and I'm barely alive. And I want to go to bed because Carl's going to yell at me in the morning. So good night. I'm going to lay all the way down, pull the blanket up, pull his leather blanket up, and roll over, facing away from the door.
Ari kind of hangs his head for a moment and then slowly pulls Pog's door shut and goes to his room.
All right.
Right before we get to the treehouse, Esther goes, "Oh, crap. Tommel. We have to go back."
And eventually, sleep finds you all. What's for the very little bit that's left of the night. And we will pick up in the morning sometime on our next episode. So, hope you all have enjoyed this. Eric, quickly with the social medias.
Yes, just because I forgot to plug it last episode, I'll do it first. I stream on Twitch every Sunday and Tuesday at 8 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. We also have a Twitter and an Instagram at the Geek Pantheon and a TikTok at the Geek Pantheon. We have a Facebook group if you want to discuss the episodes over there. Just search for the Geek Pantheon. We also have a Discord link down below. That's the best spot to engage with the community and discuss things. We are on the path to 2,000 subscribers here on the channel, and when we hit it, I'm going to buy one of you a 5th edition D&D book of your choosing. Maybe it'll be Candlekeep Mysteries, the new book that's coming out in a couple weeks. I'm still optimistic. So, yeah. But yeah, that's it for me.
Colin, also.
Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok. Sorry, BTR. The O is a 0. I'm a lot of fun, and I don't do a whole lot, but it's worth it when I do.
Anyone else want to just offer up your socials?
No.
I am technically at Summerhawk somewhere on Twitter.
Yeah.
I've literally never tweeted. So.
If you want to have a nice ghost follow of an account that just never updates, then that's
true.
That's your account.
There you go. You're just looking to have more accounts that you follow.
If you really want to be disappointed,
I never check on Twitter.
We need to set
easy to
a
find.
follow goal. If you hit a follow, how many follows on Twitter does it take for you to send a tweet?
Take to what?
How many follows on Twitter will make you send your first tweet?
Oh, man. I don't know. I'll think about that one. In the meantime, though, we are still trying to get more comments on our videos. So if you will, we would love it if you would hit the like and the subscribe button and all the other buttons. Well, not, but you know what I mean. And let us know what you think. Let us know how this is going. And if we can get to 40 comments on one of this little set of videos, then I will further elaborate the costume that you have all put me in by commenting. So we appreciate it, and I'm real hot. It's real hot.
Yeah, you are.
And modest.
Get it.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been Khyber Shards. I'm Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin saying hi to everyone on Mia's watch party.
I'm RA.
And I'm Casey.
And thanks for rolling with us.